What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Awfully Silly, the show where we feature yours, mine, and everyone's favorite block in a mainline GDQ event, the Awful or Silly block, but now freshly in primetime hours. My name is Conception. I am the host of your show, and we have a doozy of an ep for you tonight. I have so many games for us to dive into that are just they're just something, aren't they? I can't wait for you to see them if you haven't seen them in the past. Of course, if you're not familiar, tonight's episode theme, as you can see in the title most likely, is silly DOS games. That's right. Every game featured on tonight's episode is going to be a DOS game, and you know that there are some real gems here. Before we get started, though, of course, we just want to go through a few announcements. First, namely, Games Done Quick is returning to PAX East 2023. That is going to be from March 23rd through the 26th in Boston, Massachusetts. If you happen to be going to PAX East, some of us will see you there. Can't wait to see you. Additionally, SGDQ, Summer Games Done Quick 2023, is coming up May 28th through June 4th in Minneapolis, Minnesota. If you're interested, game and volunteer submissions are going to be closing very, very soon. I believe tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Feel free to go on over to gamesdonequick.com to check my work. And for more additional information about the event, please get your submissions in, or if you're able to be there and volunteer, please feel free to do that as well. But for now, I'm just too excited. I'm too excited. We have so many great DOS games on here tonight. And the first, we're kicking off with a legendary DOS game, which is, of course, Mega Man DOS. And it's going to be run by now two-time appearer on the Awfully Silly show, David TKI. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, sure. What can I say about this game? I mean, I don't know. It's Mega Man. It's for DOS. It's right here. Just look at it.
Oh, look at it in its glory. Yes.
All right. Let's just go ahead and get this started. Then, ready on that timer?
I believe we are ready when you are.
All right. So let's go ahead and go in 3, 2, 1. Go! So we start off with this opening level. Mega Man X wishes its opening level was this good. We're running. There's a dog! We gotta jump. These jumps are actually framed perfect, but luckily for us, the rules do specify that DOSBox has to be running at 500 cycles, which is a lot lower than almost any other game that I play, but if it were any higher than that, it would be unplayable. We have 3 Robot Masters, and Sonic Man is the most swingy of them. You basically have a sewer level here with a wall here that is pretty difficult to get down, and you're probably going to take damage going through it, but that's actually a lot better than it usually goes. This is a very swingy level. Most of my time loss or gain are... Oh, geez, I was supposed to destroy that. And there are these lizards in the way. There is an E-tank here, but to get it, you have to climb this invisible ladder that you couldn't see right there. But I assure you, there was a ladder there, and I did climb it, and it was invisible. Now, E-tank's important. Yeah, E-tank's important. But we have all of the usual Mega Man enemies, such as frogs, robot fish. I don't know. There's this underwater section. This section is actually a lot more difficult to optimize than it appears because, there are all these platforms above, and you could jump and get out of the water and move a little bit faster out of the water. But if you land on a platform too far above you, then the screen actually pauses for a bit to scroll that camera up. Yeah, there's some really weird optimization tricks to this game. Let's see, we've got this ladder here. Gotta wait for these cycles. If you go too fast, you're probably just gonna get knocked down. My health is low enough now that I'm gonna go ahead and just take this game over right here. Sorry, not game over. Intentional health refill. Because that's where the checkpoint is. There's only 2 checkpoints in this level. It's a safety thing, just to be safe. But yeah, this is the most swingy level, and I think world record attempts would want to basically not take the intentional health refill there. But that usually relies on not taking too many hits or maybe getting a health refill. It's pretty difficult. What else do I have going on here? There's a ladder up to the left here, but a jump here That's... I cannot believe I made that. That bat was in the way. Ooh, shooting projectiles here. Yeah, that one was predicted. Nope, I'm gonna take some damage here. In fact, oh, I could have shot him. Yeah, the little lizards here are random. It's difficult. Wait, but we're gonna get something here that is actually Mega Man. Yoku blocks! Yes!
Woo!
This is a Mega Man game, it's real! Alright, so we get to Sonic Man. So one thing you will notice with bosses is that they have no iframes, which means you can just spam out that buster shot. You are going to keep some amount of distance from Sonic Man, make sure not to take the hit, spam rapidly, and then wait for that top explosion to go just off screen, jump so that you can catch the calculator. That's what we're getting. Voltman's level, don't blink or you'll miss it, but bottom platform, face right. Buffer here. Okay, health's empty. E-tank. Fall right through the death plane. And so that gets us all the way to the end of Voltman's stage. Who has a magnificent soundtrack for his fight.
Whoa, a second sound in the game. Who could have thought?
But he's really weak to Sonic Man's weapons, so you just kind of, gotta jump and grab that calculator. Yeah, you just spam him with the weapon, bringing us to Dynaman's stage. So we're actually going to be using that Volt Shield quite a bit, because we have our next greatest foe, bees with nails. They're bees, and they drop nails. Volt Shield is actually a very useful weapon that can stop you from taking damage from those nails. Oh, too far. Too far. Come on, I can make this jump. Ow. I told you, nails were my greatest weakness!
I mean, Mega Man wears a helmet. You'd think nails would be okay from a small distance like that, but...
You would think so. The weird thing with this level is that the Volt Shield will get you past those nails no problem, but if a bee goes by and hits you, the Volt Shield will not work on the bees. They will consume your shield, and then you will take damage. So, Volt Shield works on nails, but not bees. That's very important. I mean, I wouldn't think that's something that's important, but there you go. Oops! Ouch. I'm taking a lot of damage here. This is not what my good runs usually look like. Oh well. I can make that jump. We've got some dripping here. The pattern is always the same. It's the 8th drip that you gotta shield. This one. And then the 11th. This one. A little bit of an item refill. And then we've got the return of bees with nails.
No.
They're always here. They're after Mega Man. There's no escape. So we've got a little bit of a noisy factory section here, which you have to decide for yourself which ones you're going to be damage boosting and which ones you'll wait for. I'm not really sure what the fastest strategy here is. Some of these things are going to refill some of your health, but if you're fast enough, you will catch up to the bee here. And if you're really fast, then it might actually intercept you on the ladder. So we're borrowing enemies from another DOS game now. For some reason, we have Jill of the Jungle Ants. Jill of the Jungle is not a bad game. It is, in fact, a pretty good game. So we're not seeing it on the show. But
Yep, not on this one. Not yet, at least.
Then we've got Dynaman, who, to borrow some phrasing from Liz, he's just going to kind of assert himself all over the place. He's weak to Volt Shield, but he's pretty difficult to fight because he jumps all over and you have to get so close to use the Volt Shield. So, kind of a difficult fight. But Dr. Willay is still waiting. So, we go to the Wily stage, and there's only the one. Run along here and just do short little hops to make sure the frogs get out of your way. Then there's going to be another actual Mega Man enemy here, a Met. Sonic Man is weak to Dynaman's weapon, but it's pretty difficult to land it, so I've got some pretty specific movement that I'm doing to toss it out and then explode it. But it's like jump for 2 frames, press forward for 3 frames, and then release it. Something like that. There is only the one stage, and we are going to, well, have to be very careful about our ammo usage throughout this stage. Because we're going to be using Volt Shield a lot, but Volt Shield is a very useful weapon against bosses as well as passing through the stage. Switch to Sonic Man. Hope we get an item drop, but we did not. Then Volt Man. He's just going to do his thing. So we get through most of the level, but we only have like a few Sonic shots left, which is unfortunate because that means I don't think I can use it exclusively on the final boss. We do have plenty of these with nails here. They're back with a vengeance. I might actually run out of Volt Shield on this Dynafight, depending on how it goes. So let's hope for a good pattern here. Ouch. He's jumping really high, not friendly. Okay, good. I'll take that, I'll take that. I have a little Volt Shield left. Not much, but it's enough for the final boss fight. There's going to be Sniper Joe's here, another actual enemy. That meant there you could Volt Shield your way through it. With the Sniper Joe's, it's best to just take the damage boost. We're going to have to do a Volt Shield on this 4th guy. I'm going to switch to Dynaman's weapon here for just a bit, because we're on the Wily machine. And it's going to go pretty quick. Explode this a little bit, switch to Sonic Man, take down that health bar, and then Volt Shield for the 2nd phase. And time's going to be on the fade to black. And time. Woo! That's Mega Man for DOS. Very cool game. Okay, yes, it's on Awfully Silly, but I think it is very cool, very fun. I enjoy playing it. It's relaxing. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. Just because games are on Awfully Silly does not mean they shouldn't be played. They absolutely should be played and enjoyed and appreciated. Awesome. Well, David, any plugs or shout outs or things you'd like to let the people know before we get ready to get our next DOS game on here?
Well, I'm thinking of submitting this game to GDQ, so kind of fingers crossed there, hoping it gets in. And I was inspired to play it by seeing Liz Star play it at GDQ. So thank you, Liz Star. I really enjoy this game. You're a terrible influence, but thank you.
Yes. We've had Liz on the show before. She is a wonderful human being, and she runs some questionable games to be sure. So we do like that. But David, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. Now, 2nd time popping up on the show. So everyone make sure to give him a follow. Now that, especially now that David's a 2-time Awfully Silly alum. So for everyone else, yeah, absolutely. For everyone else out there, we have plenty more DOS action here for you. But we're going to take a little break here. So feel free to stretch, climb some invisible ladders in your home if you have them. But make sure you get back here so you can see the rest of the DOS action. We'll see you in a few moments. Welcome back to Awfully Silly. I hope you really enjoyed that Mega Man DOS run because we have plenty more DOS action for you, including the next run, which is another famous title that has a DOS version. But before we get right into that, couple of announcements just to remind everybody about what's going on in GDQ land. So if you're watching on YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, feel free to come on over to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content. That's going to start most weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Feel free to come and check us out. Without further ado, though, as I briefly teased, we have another famous title with a DOS version that maybe doesn't live up to the regular version as much, but is still entertaining all the same. And of course, that is Ninja Gaiden 2 for the DOS, and that's going to be run by Armath. So Armath, the floor is yours. Show us how it's done.
All right, the time shall come, as we're seeing on the screen here. we're going to be playing Ninja Gaiden 2 for DOS. This game is basically the same as the NES version, so if you remember what the NES version was like, it's going to be just like you remember. Without further ado, let's get into it. So, we're in Act 1 here. The game runs at about 10 frames per second, and we know that this is actually the speed that the developers intended because there's an unreleased beta version on Archive that runs at a little bit faster. So they decided that the player experience would be hampered by such a high frame rate, and so we've got 10, except in one stage when it runs at a little bit higher than that. But, you know, we'll see. Oh shoot, why did I go up here? That's not the way. Alright. Anyway, we're going to be doing a lot of frame perfect jumping in this game because the frame rate is 10, so, you know, I just like saying things are frame perfect. They are, but obviously it's a lot easier to do that when the frame rate is so low.
Frame perfect is a relative term, everybody.
Yes. There's also subpixels in this game. I'm not really going to spend 20 minutes explaining what they are and how they work, but anytime something bad happens to me, it's subpixels. Alright, here's the first boss. I'm just going to slash him in the back. Unlike in the NES version, Ninja powers don't really do very much in this version of the game. So we're going to be using them occasionally, but not very often. This stage has a bunch of frame perfect jumps. It's like all frame perfect jumps. So this jump over this guy is frame perfect. The jump over this guy, that was early, yeah. Things hitboxes in this game are gigantic, so... big jump over this guy's frame perfect. Oh, we jumped late, yeah. It's pretty tough to get all of them. On this stage, it doesn't matter. Later in the game, it's going to really matter. Oh, why did this guy show up? Okay. Normally, he's not there, but sometimes, you know.
Things happen.
Things happen, yeah. Alright, we're into this stage. This stage has a frame perfect jump to start off, and we're gonna hope that we make it. Let's go right now. That looks good. Yeah, okay, sweet. If you die there, you're on a different subpixel, and then you actually have 2 frames to make the jump. That's one rare instance in which this game is generous. Yeah, so this is the wind stage, and the wind is really bad. It's pretty bad in the NES version, to be honest, but like this version, the wind is way stronger, and also ruins your subpixel, so you can't really set it up, and just bad. There's actually a way to skip a wind cycle here, but it's basically impossible, so... we're going to reset our position on the screen. You can see the wind blew us so that we were all the way on the right side of the screen, and we don't want to be over there because bad things happen if you're not aligned with the center of the screen. So... I mean, bad things are going to happen regardless, but they happen more often if you're not in the center. Honestly, the music in this... Things. Oh, yeah.
Happen on this show, I should say.
Honestly, the music in this game is pretty good. Alright, we're going to shoot that guy with 5 ninjas. You can see we blasted him with, like, basically our entire energy bar. And, why isn't he coming down? He should be coming down. Hello? Again? Okay, that's never happened before. What?
Hey! Said the thing.
Alright, well... I guess we killed the boss.
Most apprehensive sound. I guess we did it. I mean, it's fine, you know?
Yeah, that... I've literally never seen that pattern. Okay, this stage is the one that runs a little bit faster. This is closer to, like, maybe 13 FPS. And that's because it's dark, I think. I think that's what's going on. but I'm not an expert. Anyway, because it's dark, we can't see anything, so we kind of have to rely on these trees to give us a visual cue. Here we're going to grab what I call the Invincible Fire Wheel. In the NES version, this is called the Invincible Fire Wheel, but it's not invincible in this version, so... This is going well so far. We're going to die at some point. I've played this game like maybe 500 times, and I've gotten through without dying once, so...
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that unforgiving, jeez.
It's pretty bad. Alright, damage boosting in this version is based on what direction your character is facing, so we can kind of abuse that to go through some enemies pretty quickly. Here we're going to be setting up our subpixel by damage boosting up these guys so we can make this jump. We're also going to do a slash hover. That's our first slash hover of the game. Basically, if you slash and then press the opposite direction, you'll kind of rotate around the sword and the game will stop checking for gravity. It'll like oh no. It'll assume that you're on the on solid ground. Yeah. Okay. This is actually fine. There's a backup coin we can get. I don't really know why that one happened, but yeah, so a lot of these jumps are like basically frame perfect unless you do a slash hover. And so in a lot of cases where that would just kill us, like we're failing the jump would kill us, we're gonna opt for doing something slightly slower and much safer instead. Right, boost off this guy. We're gonna boost up to the top platform and then hopefully get the quick kill on this boss. Yeah, that looks good. All the bosses, we're basically just going to be setting up our clone on top of the boss and then spamming slash. That's the best way to deal damage. Alright, this stage hurts really bad to look at, so don't look at this stage. I don't know why they made it this color, but it's not. Don't make your video game this color, please. Just, no.
Oof, yeah, that does sting the corneas a little bit, I will say.
This is 100% not acceptable for what a video game should look like. Alright, some tricky jumping here. We're going to try to delay our slash. And then we're going to jump to spawn that bat high. The bat spawn positioning is dependent on where you are when you cross the boundary for like spawning the bat. So we can manipulate it a little bit. Oh, we have to talk about P-Speed. So this game has like 3, like if you're playing Super Mario 3, there's like a bunch of, oh no. That's not good. Yeah, that's okay. Not the end of the world, we still have 1 P. Yeah, so anyway, it's like I was saying, Super Mario Bros. 3 has like 8 little triangles. You can imagine that this game has 3 little triangles. And they fill up 1 frame by 1 frame. And we're gonna try to jump on like, with the most momentum to get across these platforms. So we'll see. Yeah, that's good. In the NES version, you rely on the Invincible Fire Wheel a lot for this stage, but obviously that's not something we have access to. So. We have the Invincible Fire Wheel at home, I guess is what you would call it. Okay, that went really well. That's one of the primary places to die during the run, so. Alright, we're on to 4-2. This stage also messes with your subpixel, because if you're in the water, your subpixel is constantly changing, and it makes jumps really inconsistent. Oh.
Water levels strike again, huh?
Yeah, well, there's an ice level later in this game, and it's not good. Alright, this jump right here is famous because casually you can't actually make this jump unless you take an intentional death here. We can just skip over it, but that was fun figuring out. Oh, that's really bad, actually. Yeah, that wall doesn't exist, but okay, this should be fine. I'm gonna grab this. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a backup on the next screen. We need a clone to kill this boss quickly, so we're just gonna boost up here and then do some careful slash covering to kind of get in the right position. Okay. Oh no.
No.
This game has a little bit of what I like to call Roadrunner time. So if you're familiar with Coyote time, Roadrunner time is the opposite of that.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone refer to it as Roadrunner time. That is funny. I like that.
And I definitely got Roadrunner time there. You have to jump a little bit before you actually think you need to jump. All right. Another interesting fact about this game, in the NES version, Ryu is blue. In this version, he's orange, and his clones are blue. I don't really know why they made that change, but it's definitely something.
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was wondering if they just palette swapped them. Are the clones orange in the other one? Do you know?
Yeah, the clones are orange in the other one.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
All right, that's a trick. That's one of my favorite tricks in the run, actually. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to get a slash over here. Alright, we made it through finally. This boss hopefully is going to be pretty simple. We're just going to set up our clone on top of his face and slash him to death. Oh, and then we want to get on the wall so we don't spawn inside of a pit on the next screen. That's important. This stage is kind of a reprieve. It's pretty easy. We're going to be grabbing the invincible fire wheel here. Flipping through this wall. Walls in this game are really easy to clip through, but most of the time it's not actually that useful to clip through the wall, so we're going to be respecting the wall and hoping that it respects us, because sometimes it does not, and that's no good. Oh no. Okay. Let's clip through that wall again. Oh, I'm really low. This fire does a lot of damage, so I'm gonna be trying to make it through the screen without dying. Phew. Alright, I need to damage boost on this next stage, so I'm gonna take an intentional death at the very beginning. And hopefully that won't cost us later on.
The ice level.
Yeah, so this is Jork's favorite stage in the NES version, but I don't think it's anybody's favorite stage in this version, because it's really bad. Running on ice also just like ruins your subpixel. So the jumps are going to be really exciting, I guess, would be the most tactful way of putting it. And also with ice physics. There's also a part in the game later, which has pixel perfect jumps. We're not going to be going for those, but oh, the bat. Okay. You're going to try to deviate stop that guy, but sometimes he doesn't cooperate. Right, hopefully I can get a nice deboost off that guy. Alright, here's where we're going to use our phone a friend. We need to call in other knife guy for moral support. So let's hope he shows up to work today. Sometimes he does not show up to work. And oh, he showed up, but we didn't actually make it done. That's not the end of the world. We can just hover. You can block shurikens with your sword in this version of the game, which is kind of cool. It doesn't really come up all that often, but it's pretty...
It's very Star Wars.
Pretty nice. Alright, here we're going to do some very precise slash covering. Oh. If you don't want to do the slash hovering there, you're gonna do a pixel perfect setup into like 4 frame perfect jumps in a row, and that saves like, I don't know, 7 seconds or something. Yeah, don't go for that. The math on that does not work out. That's Ashtar. He's kind of a joke boss. Oh, the Force of Darkness. Alright, this stage is also pretty chill, except for the part where you have to damage boost past the infinitely spawning bats, but that usually goes well, so... Alright. Yeah, this is just a very specific setup. Let's see if we can do it. Nice. That's easy every time. I've never failed that one.
I'm trying to decide if I believe you.
Oh, I'm lying, but yeah. It's actually a lot easier than it looks. I got pretty consistent at that one. Just like some of the like regular jumps in this game are actually the scariest part of the stage.
There.
Yeah. This stage is pretty easy. You're just kind of walking along. There's no pits in this stage, so it's very hard to die unless you accidentally clip through something. Okay, we're gonna pick up this Ninpo power. We actually need it to fight this boss. This boss fight has a vestigial boss in it. I don't really know why the other boss, like, oh, I've never killed him before without using the Ninpo power. But yeah, that other boss is just hanging out, I guess. He doesn't hurt you. Yeah. Here we need to use our sword to activate our sword, because on this stage, the first slash you do just does not work. Found that out recently.
Good game.
Good video game, yeah. Oh, yes. I actually want that. I'm gonna do kind of a safety strat here. They added an enemy to this game. This guy that's on this platform right here is normally not in the game. Or not in the NES version, at least. I don't know why they added him, but he's kind of a pain, so... We're just gonna beat all of those guys with the Ninpo. That was a little bit unplanned. This next screen is really scary because if you die in this screen, you die in real life, so...
Oh no. I didn't know real life lives were on the line here.
Yeah, fortunately, I've never died in that screen, as evidenced by the fact that I'm still alive. Alright, this is the last stage in the game. This has been going really smoothly, so probably everything is gonna go down the drain here. Right, getting hit there is actually kind of good because we don't want the errant Shuriken to get that fire wheel before we get there. We need this fire wheel for the boss fight. This is another screen that's surprisingly challenging sometimes. Also, if you press any button during one of these screen transitions, you die. So don't do that. That's something you learn during your first casual playthrough, is you're like trying to jump out of the screen transition and then the game just kills you. Now we're gonna take a boost off that bird. Thank you, bird. Yeah, as you probably noticed, the fastest way to get past enemies is just to boost off of them, because they actually push you the direction that you want to go, so... That's very kind. This is the final boss. There's 3 phases, and we're just gonna hope that we don't get the pattern where he randomly goes invincible. That is not fast. Alright, it looks like we're good. This is what we're using the fire wheel for, by the way. We could go for the quick kill in the last phase, but I think that that's way too risky to go for, so... This next boss, we're just going to run up and slash him with clones like we've been doing to every single boss in the entire game. And then the same thing for the third phase. This game looks really easy if it doesn't, you know, go off the rails. Alright. Right here. Jump into his face, run over to the safe spot over here, and then have clone number 3 do all the heavy lifting. And then this is something you definitely can't do in the NES version. We're just going to run behind the boss, and then set up our clone in the same spot. And time is when the screen goes black here. So that's time.
Woo! Well done.
Oh man, that went way better than it had in practice sometimes. I think the first practice run was like I was 9 minutes behind my PB. And I was just like, oh my god, why did they give me a 25-minute estimate? But yeah.
Oh no, you crushed it. You crushed it here. 21-26 is what we got on our side, so.
Yeah.
Or
that is a good run. That is a good run.
Yes.
My PB right now is 1928, but that's like, I mean, obviously that's the best run I've ever had. And now we get to watch this beautiful cutscene. Yeah, the temple collapsing is way less exciting in the DOS version than it is in the NES version, but yeah, what a game.
What a game indeed. Well, while we're enjoying these excellent cinematics here on the way out, is there anything, Aramath, you'd like to plug, shout out, or let the people know?
I mostly play awful DOS games. Like the first speedrun that I did was Flintstones for DOS, which if you've never seen that game, you should check it out. That game is truly... I think that's actually the worst video game I've ever played outside of Jetsons for DOS. Jetsons for DOS is worse, but I don't think that's a game that you could actually speedrun. Actually, that's a challenge. Here's what I'm using this time for. If you speedrun Jetsons for DOS, that would be amazing. That game is probably like the hardest game and the worst game that I've ever played.
And I'll add to that, if you could speedrun Jetsons for DOS, a game I didn't know existed until a few seconds ago, probably get a fast track to be on this show, I would say.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yes, absolutely. Anything else you'd like to shout out?
I think that's it. Thanks everybody for watching this game.
Yes, absolutely. Well done on the run, Aramath. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and this game has good music. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually like pretty competent besides the glaring problems like running at 10 FPS.
Yes, that is hard to stomach for sure. Well, everyone, we still have plenty of DOS action going on for you coming up. So feel free to check on your subpixels at home because we're getting ready to have a little break.
Oh yeah, it just boots you out back to DOS once the title screen is over.
Of course it does. Of course it does. But yeah, feel free, everyone. Get up, stretch. Have a walkabout. Check on your subpixels, and we'll see you here in just a few short moments. All right. Welcome back to Awfully Silly, everyone. If you're just joining us or getting ready for our next game here, we have a special theme for this episode, which is silly DOS games. That's right. Every game that you're going to see on Awfully Silly tonight is a DOS game, and this next one is no exception. Before we get into it, though, a couple of quick announcements here. Mainly, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix, the content you see throughout the week between events and everything like that. So please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily speedrunning content, and we really appreciate it. Other than that, I think we actually have a double Mooware block coming up here because Mooware happens to run a couple of really excellent DOS titles. The first of which Mooware is going to take us through is the Skateboard Kid. So Mooware, the floor is yours.
Yeah, hi. So this is the Skateboard Kid, an old Israeli DOS platformer. You might be thinking that the music is pretty decent. If it's okay, I'd like to switch to the PC speaker option for a little bit. Have to restart the game for that quickly. It's pretty crunchy. Hope it isn't peaking too high. Oh, seems fine. So that's what you're missing. We're not gonna listen to that for the whole game, but it's I think it's a good jam.
Oh yes.
And I don't know. Is this supposed to be the same melody? You be the judge, I think. All right. So back to the proper music. Okay, yeah, so the Skateboard Kid. I read a little bit about it on an Israeli preservation site, but I can't tell you much about it. The people who made it made two other games at the same time, which look more normal. So the story of this game is that there's an evil wizard, and he cursed the town of Rehoboth, I think. And we, as the intrepid Skateboard Kid, venture out only with our skateboard and somehow an infinite supply of throwing knives to defeat him. This game can be really mean and RNG heavy, so it's possible that I get a game over. I can beat it more often than not, but I do have some save states in case I can't do it. Yeah, so we can get going, I think.
Absolutely, whenever you're ready.
All right, so let's start in 3, 2, 1, go. So here we are, and here are the meat slop monsters already. We could ask this old guy for a hint on what to do. Every stage has this little task you have to do. Basically, almost every stage has a weapon upgrade, and almost every stage has an item you have to grab, a quest item basically. So here there's this hammer, which goes in our inventory down there. Also grabbing a burger for health. It's not really necessary now, but I'll cherish any health items later. I picked up this green orb. The green orb can take some hits for me. So the game pretty much spawns enemies randomly. They come from any direction. Sometimes, if they're not flying enemies, they'll just drop on your head, which is always nice and not really easy to avoid. So here's where we use our item. This one window looks different. We smash it with a hammer, and that gets us to stage 2, this kind of industrial building, where we fight this. I'm not sure what to call it. I think it's a golden horse demon. That's what I usually go with. It's a quick fight. It gives us this key, and the key opens this door, and that's the second stage. And this door leads us right to hell, I think. Of course, that's where that would go. I also picked up this boomerang earlier. That's the first weapon upgrade. I have to be careful here. It's a little bit tempting, maybe, if you play this game for the first time, to just jump down the slopes because it might seem faster, but the thing is, if you fall just a little bit too far, you immediately die. This game doesn't have fall damage, it has straight up fall death. And I'd rather avoid that. There's an item to avoid that a little bit. There's the red orb, which lets you take one fall. So we picked up this eyeball here. That's the quest item for this stage. And now I could death warp back, but that's I might need my lives later. And also, if I do take the death warp shortcut, then I'm not getting the weapon upgrade, which makes the next stage quite a bit harder. So we're trying to go the safe way, which is still not that safe. So this is we're gonna take the long way around. I can't just jump up here. I tried a bunch. You can't grab onto that. You might have seen that I can grab onto ledges. That's a pretty central mechanic in this game. And actually a lot of fun, I think. So it's pretty unusual, I think, for this kind of platformer to have a grab like that. Oh, this worm is really getting me. So some of the most dangerous enemies here, I think. Okay, so we do have the skateboard, but we're not really doing a lot of skateboard tricks. There's this little transfer we just did is maybe the most skateboard-like thing you'll see.
Yeah, that was a gnarly half pipe. Look at that.
Yeah, it's over the fires of hell. That's like an Evil Knievel stunt.
Yes.
So I've got my new weapon here, the fireball. It's a bunch stronger than the other things, so it's gonna be useful later in the next stage. But the game doesn't give me a lot of health items here on this stretch, so it's gonna be a pretty risky. Oh, and I'm dead. Okay. Well, I did get everything I want. I did get the weapon upgrades, and now the death warp is fine. So now I can just shortcut here. So yeah, it can be pretty hard to avoid all those enemies. A single collision with an enemy is not that bad. Like that's actually a viable way to kill the enemies. If you touch them, you only take a little bit of damage, and you usually kill them. But yeah, it adds up. I also picked up this bomb item that's a single-use bomb, which just attacks in all directions. So here's this nice drop. If I wouldn't catch myself here, then I would be dead. Of course, nice little trap. But yeah, lost life. But now I'm doing pretty well in terms of health.
I don't know if you've noticed this before, but I feel like our character's head is proportionally small to the rest of his body.
Yeah, I guess so.
It looks shrunken head a little bit to me.
On the title screen, I thought he looks a little bit like... Is that one of the Muppet side characters, maybe? There's like this flesh-colored worm with eyes, but no mouth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But so here's the quest item location for this stage. We're putting this eye in its socket, and then we're escaping this Indiana Jones trap. And that opens the exit, and the back exit of hell leads us right to this nice sunny pirate cove, or Viking cove, maybe. I guess that's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, this is a pretty dangerous stage already, but with a fireball it shouldn't be that bad. Grabbing this health cocktail. And yeah, here you can really see that the game just randomly spawns enemies everywhere. It just keeps dropping these pirates on my head.
Yeah, where are they supposed to be coming from? Are they skydiving?
I don't know. Maybe that's the wizard's curse. It just he keeps dropping pirates on us. grabs handfuls of pirates and just throws them at us. So there was this arrow upwards just now, but it only takes us to a bomb, which isn't that useful. Here's a bit of a tight spot. Lots of enemies here. these archers. Want to use a bomb here. It always takes a bit for the game to switch items. Okay, so I'm using my bomb. There we go. Because I can't really shoot down. I'm a little bit low on health, so I can grab an optional health item up here, but it's a bit of a risk. If a lot of enemies spawn, then maybe you're not actually getting that much health. I think I got a little bit. And especially these flying enemies are pretty mean in their tactics, because they don't stop right above you, they kind of stop to the side and then dive down like those birds. So here's kind of a boss. Not a hard one though, especially with the fireball. He's defeated very quickly and just becomes a platform for us. And that's the end of the Pirate Cove, and this eagle takes us away. And we get to enjoy a nice little bit of elevator music, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, we are being elevated in a way.
That's true.
We're flying by, is this a bald eagle, it looks like? Potentially?
Some kind of eagle. And he takes us basically right in front of the evil sorcerer's castle. So here's a new item. Sometimes I kept missing this sometimes initially because it's almost invisible. It's just this tiny item in front of the blue background. This stage also has some fun enemies. You see it's dropping gorillas and martial arts masters on me. I'm pretty low on health, so I hopefully can still get to the health item over there before the bees and all of these enemies here kill me. Okay, almost pretty much full health again. Yeah, gorillas everywhere.
I love the animation of them falling off the screen. Just
quick green orb here. Can take a few hits for me. So we're going down here to grab the next quest item. This torch that's got a fun use. So we're gonna meet the boss in a second. And before we can fight him, we have to use our item here. So here's the kind of dragon guy. And he's burning this field, and the only way for me to escape this fire is to also burn the field, so I've got a little bit of room to escape. And now we just wait for it to burn down, and then we can fight him. Bees, Okay, and as soon as I can fight him, I want to stay at the maximum distance if possible. Let's see, there should be a bit of a visual feedback when you hit him. Oh crap, he got me. That's not good. Usually you can just about defeat him. Let's see. I guess we should still be fine. I've got full health. Don't need the... Oh, Actually, this might be a problem. I'm not sure I can get the torch again. This isn't really a situation I usually get in, so
That's never happened before, Moment. I like it.
Yeah, that's what the safe states are for. But let's see if the torch is still here or the grass is already burned. But I'm guessing this would be a kind of soft log. We'll see in a few moments. Alright, so torch still here? Torch is gone. That's a bad omen.
Oh.
Oh, but it looks like the field is burned down. Apparently that is persistent. I'll try to survive him this time. Come on, give it up, give it up. There we go. Phew.
Whee!
Alright. We barely made it by the skin of our teeth to the final stage. And I'm probably gonna die here soon, but I've got a few lives left. Oh crap, yeah. That one got me.
Yeah, there it is.
So
Yeah.
the enemy spawning gets especially aggressive in this stage. But with full health, it should probably be fine. The last boss is also pretty fun. It's also very RNG heavy boss fight. But it usually goes over well. We'll see. But yeah, the game still loves to just drop enemies on your head, and it's barely possible to avoid that at all. You can just try spamming projectiles everywhere. We're also getting our last weapon upgrade in this stage.
No more ninja stars. I was just enjoying this new version of Ninja Gaiden for DOS.
Yeah. And the next weapon is also a fun little thing. Very suspenseful music here. Okay, so I can get rid of this bat. There we go, and the little red guy. So up here is my final weapon upgrade. These green ghosts. I think they look like little ghosts.
Yeah, they do.
Little ghosties.
Just what a weapon choice.
So hard to avoid all these spawning enemies. It's kind of slightly annoying how they're just coming from everywhere. Here's a little green orb to take the pressure off.
That's all right. You can handle them. You got Slimer from Ghostbusters as a weapon now, so.
So there's one last health item right here. Burger. Sadly, the burgers, strangely enough, they don't do much. The fries give a lot more health than the burgers for some reason. More filling, maybe. All right. So as long as the game doesn't rush me with too many enemy spawns, we should at least make it to the boss room. And then I've got one life left, so there's no life number 0. So I've got one more life after this one.
Ooh, all right.
Okay, so the portal is right ahead. Ah, wizard. Okay, there we go. So here's the final boss in space, and he loves to just run into you. There's also this spiky orb down there that shouldn't touch you. Okay, that's one life gone. He doesn't really take that many hits, but yeah, he just flies around. So it can be hard to hit. How to hit him properly, get your hits in, and crap. I think that was my well, yeah. We've got some save states just so we can properly appreciate the end here.
Yes, we gotta appreciate this wizard that came from the moon.
Okay. So it just want him to line up properly, and then he's usually done fairly quickly. If he doesn't keep running into me, that's... Yeah, I think his movement patterns are also complete RNG. Sometimes it's so much nicer. Okay, looking good. He doesn't run into me. That's a good start. Oh, nu over there though. Okay. There we go. I think that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's time. Sadly with a game over, but it's hard to avoid this game sometimes.
Oh, I can imagine. It looked difficult to do. There is just truly so many enemies populating on the screen at pretty much all levels, so...
They keep falling on your head. That's why you wear proper protection gear when you go skateboarding. You should wear a helmet and stuff, so...
Your helmet, yeah. Don't forget the elbow and the knee pads, too. You know, it's all very important.
Yeah. So that you've got some protection when the pirates fall on your head and stuff.
Well, we're not quite done with you yet, Muir. We're going to have some more fun with you here coming up.
Yeah.
But in case you had anything specific to this game that you wanted to share or plug, feel free.
Yeah, maybe a little shout out. So it's always a bit of a challenge to find these weird and obscure games. So I saw this game on the stream of I think fairly well-known retro streamer Macaw45. He keeps playing these crazy games, and years ago he played this one, and I just thought it looked really interesting. So big shout out to him for the crazy games he keeps playing.
Yes, absolutely. Love that. I always wonder how people end up finding these games because I had no idea until I saw it for Big Bad Gameathon. So well done, well done. Well, like I was saying, we're not quite done with Muir yet. So Muir will be back after a little break here with the next DOS game. But for now, feel free to, if you're at home, we're going to take a little break. So feel free to grab your skateboard and go down some ramps and defeat some demons and moon
Free your town from the evil wizards.
Yes, exactly. Feel free to do that as long as it only takes a few minutes, and then we'll see you on the other side. Welcome back to Awfully Silly. We're focusing on silly DOS games this evening or morning or wherever you are in the world here. Before we get on with part 2 of the Moo block, or the Muware block, I just wanted to remind folks as well that if you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, the things that we got going on, feel free to use _ links in chat, LINKS. That will get you information on all things GDQ. And I also want to remind everybody that if you're really enjoying some Hotfix content, you're going to want to stay tuned after Awfully Silly concludes tonight for Out of Bounds, which is a show that's hosted by Kung Fu Cup, where she has people on the show to showcase glitches, tricks, skips, and everything in between for various games. And I believe tonight they are focusing on Stray, the game about the cat. Who doesn't want to see that? So... but without further ado, we need to continue on with the Moo block with another very special DOS game. I'm going to give it my best, and I'm sure Muware can correct me if I do this wrong. I'm going to say Abenteuer Atlantis.
Yeah, sounds decent.
Okay, good. All right, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Muware as well, this is a special translation of this game that we got ready just in time for this showcase.
Pretty much, yeah.
Beautiful.
So this is originally a German language game, but I saw some people say that they're really sad that they can't play it for themselves. So I made the effort to start a fan translation for it. I already announced that the last time I ran this game at Big Bad Gameathon, and then I didn't do much with it for a long time, but now for the hotfix here, I thought I should put in some effort, and it's... I'm not quite releasing it yet. There's a little bit still to do, I think, but it's functional, it's playable, and that the text is there, and that also means I don't have to live translate it, which is a load of me.
Absolutely. Thank you for putting in all that work.
You're welcome. Yeah, so this is Abenteuer Atlantis. a point-and-click advert game by the food brand Knorr, which I think is also available in the US. They make instant food and chicken bouillon and stuff, that kind of thing. They're originally a Swiss company, and in Switzerland they have this mascot, Knorli, which is this red gnome, which apparently they've been using for over 70 years now. And he got his own little point-and-click adventure game in 1992. So this is from 1992, just like the other game, like Skateboard Kid. Apparently a good vintage for strange little games. And yeah, I think it's a pretty fun game. If you're not familiar with this game yet, you might be in a moment when we start the game. But yeah, so I think we're good to start.
All right.
So let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So there he is. There's the boy. If you've seen one thing from this game, then it's that screenshot.
Stuff of nightmares. I can't believe this has been a mascot for over 70 years. Like, this will haunt my dreams.
He usually doesn't look like that, but yeah, this is a 70-year-old soup gnome mascot. But yeah, so this is a point-and-click adventure, so that's lots of reading. Ye who enter here abandon all hope. The year is 178 before Christ. A terrible curse has befallen our poor Mesopotamia. Hunger and sickness rule the land between the two rivers. The people despair. And even our good king Baal has reached the end of his legendary wisdom. The cause for our misfortune remains shrouded in darkness. The elders tell frightful tales from days long past. Cruel gods from a dark underworld are to be blamed for our people's woe, they say. But we do not know. As for me, I'm called Knorli. I work in the kitchens of King Baal's sorrowful court. I prepare the evening sacrifice every day, and there, just yesterday, I found a peculiar piece of parchment in the bowels of a golden fish. Today, with haste, I will take it to the sage Artagatis, the astronomer in the king's court. Mayhaps he can tell what Knorli has found in Neptune's merciful bounty. So the original text also goes for this kind of old-timey medieval epic text, I guess, style. In parts, and in other parts it's just more like a modern comedy. So I tried to kind of keep that.
Gotta love that fusion. Medieval and modern.
Yeah. Alright, we're not done with the introduction yet. There's still a bit of text. So this image isn't quite as well known, but I think it's also pretty good. That's the sage Artagatis. What did you bring, lad? Show me. There is a legend claiming that a golden tuna will contain the secret to save our poor country from its plight. It seems that you have found what has been foretold. But oh my, it is written in a script that I cannot read. And if I lack the knowledge, then I do not know who else could read it on this whole wide earth. McNally, I'm old. You, on the other hand, are young and strong. Go forth. Somewhere out there in this world, a solution for this riddle of yours might be found. I must tend to the evening sacrifice now, so that the gods may be merciful. Farewell, McNally. All our hopes rest only upon you. That's the introduction. It's pretty slow, but now we're getting to the point and click part.
Yes, that is a mighty introduction.
Yeah, it's a pretty worthy.
I just like, I must tend to the evening sacrifice now. Like, that's just a normal thing people have to do.
Gotta make the gods happy somehow.
Yep, just another thing on the to-do list.
Okay, so here's Knolly.
Oh,
Not quite fully equipped yet. And one of the little things that isn't quite done in my translation yet. So on the right side you can see these action verbs, walk, use, and so on. That's actually not text. That's an image. I had to figure out the image format of the game. And I did change this text, but I didn't change what's happening when you activate the verbs, actually. That's one of the things that still needs doing. Anyway, this is a classic adventure game, which means we're gonna ransack every room, steal everything. If it's not nailed down, if I can take it, it's mine. And the game doesn't really warn you if you're missing something. So some of the items, like this barometer I've got here, is gonna be used much later, but the game doesn't really tell you that you're missing it or anything. So that's fun. And another thing, if I leave this room, this parchment I've got here, the Easter scroll, the parchment I found, is gonna crumble. Game just doesn't tell you why, it's just crumbling. So we've got this bottle of snail slime, and we're slathering it all over our scroll in order to preserve it. Alright, so that's enough ransacking of the place. So we can talk to this bird here. Oh, we have to talk to this bird here. And we say, hi, little birdie. And he says, birdie yourself. He doesn't like being called birdie, I suppose. Do you know the secret of Atlantis? Sure, what do you want to know? What does the document that I found say? Well, I forgot. How do I save Mesopotamia? Why would you ask about that? I don't know. But he doesn't really have a meaningful answer. He just says, shake well and take 3 times a day or something. What's the meaning of life? And he answers in a French phrase, which means something like, this telephone number isn't available, I think. But yeah, what we have to do is, we've got this parrot, Sugar, here. We're giving him the sugar. Feel better now? Much better. I'm wide awake now. But my memory is still blank. There's just one little number that's bouncing around the edges of my mind. 2794. I don't have to remember this number or anything. I just have to get the bird to tell it to me. But don't ask me what it's supposed to mean. I'm sorry, I'm not getting any younger. Blurb, he's making these sounds for some reason all the time. What that gets us is that I can open this trapdoor here now. And with the code he got from the parrot, Knorly opens the secret door to the archives. I like these little animations that play in the middle here.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so down here, there's just this one item, the animal dictionary, that lets us talk to animals. And it would also crumble if we go outside with it. I don't know why the paper is this bad, but I guess it's the Dark Ages or something. So we also slattered with snail slime to preserve it. And the animal dictionary lets us talk to this mouse. Good day, madam. Hello, sir. You look like you might be lost. You could say that. Honestly, we're in quite a pickle. Aren't you the jerk who always sets up mouse traps in the pantry? We are the kitchen boy.
Wow, shots are fired.
Yeah, and now you expect me to help you. Listen, how about a deal? You leave us mice alone, and I will help you get out of here, okay? Sure, I promise. Cross my heart. No mouse traps, no cats. Sounds good. Then try that secret door on the wall to the left. Good luck. It's pretty easy as a solution, but you can't do it without talking to the mouse first. But now we can just walk outside here. And I really like this piece of music here. In general, this game has some really good music. But yeah, we're in the fairy woods now. There's a bear here. If I walk over to the bear, I try to talk to him, he's gonna eat me. It's what bears do, I suppose. There's an item behind me that we're gonna use later, this life root. Put it in the inventory. And there's this beehive, which we're talking to. My ladies. Buzz off, boy. We ain't got time for chit-chat. Haven't you ever heard the term busy as a bee? You lazy oaf.
Wow, absolutely brutalizing this poor gnome, right?
Probably human in this context.
I don't even
But yeah, I usually call him a gnome. Buzz. We try to speak the language, but yeah, they don't respond to that either. Stop messing around, we've got work to do. Can I speak to the Queen? Her Majesty is busy. Any inquiries or complaints are to be submitted in triplicate to the Mesopotamian Beekeepers Association, Berrywood local chapter. So yeah, they're also not very responsive until we have something to give them in exchange. So we've still got this sugar cube from earlier. We can give that to the bees. Would you look at that? Real parrot sugar. Don't know if that's a thing. Is sugar for birds different than sugar? I don't know. That's very kind of you, kid. Hey girls, get this sweet kid a nice honeycomb sample as thanks. So now we've got a honeycomb, and I'll just hand that right on over to the bear here. And he stands up and suddenly looks different, and he walks away. Alright, so that's the bear taken care of. Now we're gonna take a quick peek in the room to the right. I like his walking animation. He keeps staring straight at us. So here's a witch. I don't want to take one step further because the witch is going to curse me. We're just here to grab some items. And then we're walking away. And here on the left side, someone's waiting for us. There's a grey figure hidden in the background, and we needed the mushroom from the other side, from the right side. Again, I'm just pilfering the place, just taking everything I can. And then we'll take a few more steps. He leaves Tiamat, the swamp monster, who noticed Knolly immediately when he entered its territory. It sniffs around the frightened Knolly until it finds the monster shroom. So without that, it would have just eaten us, I think. The game has a lot of these deaths if you just miss something. Suddenly, it's actually a fairy. O noble knight, 1,000 thanks for freeing me from this evil curse. But still, my heart remains heavy when I think of the dire fate of our dear homeland. Alright, so we broke the curse, but she's still pretty sad. And before we're gonna deal with that, I'm going to take this empty bottle and I'm gonna bottle her tears. Because fairy tears, probably useful. And I'm taking this golden comb and giving it to her because it turns out it's her. She lost it. Oh noble hero, 1,000 thanks. I've been looking for this damned comb all over my monster lair. Even a monster wants to look good from time to time. Take this as a reward. This cap will protect you from the evil eye, from curses, and from parking tickets. Good luck and farewell, my hero. So now we've got this cap. Slowly we're getting the full Knolly equipment.
All coming together.
And equipped with this curse-blocking cap, we can now face the witch. But first, this totem appeared here. It wasn't here before. Just gonna put it in my inventory, which is apparently infinite. Okay, so now I can step into the witch's curse. Without the cap, this would also be a game over, of course. What's this? Is my curse defective again? I just had it in the repair shop for its scheduled maintenance. Such shoddy work. That repair shop is going to hear from me. You just can't rely on the magic repair shops these days.
Yeah. Oh my.
So it turns out this toad belongs to the witch. Madam, is this yours? Oh, my precious little darling, come to mommy. Did you get lost again? Where did you find my Sebastian? In the woods. Just a few steps over there. It's very nice of you. All I have to lose is my bad reputation, but I don't want to appear ungrateful. So I'd like to give you these shoes as thanks. They will turn you invisible to the demons of the underworld. If you ever have to descend to their shadowy realm. But be careful. I had them in the same repair shop as my curse. And you saw how that turned out. Well, enough chatting. So long, mine cowboy. That's a weird little quirk that it also said a partially English phrase in the German text. But yeah, she just disappears, even though we are right in front of her witch's hut. We're just gonna walk in. And again, we're just gonna pillage the place like it's ours. So here's a key. Here's a broken broom. What's the other stuff? It's kind of hard to see all the items. Right, here's the magic wand. And I think that's everything. I hope I'm not missing anything. Key, yeah, I think that should be everything. And the toad is also hiding under the table here now. And again, we have to talk to the toad to proceed, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense logically. Yeah, so we ask it if it wants to fly, and it prefers truffles. Are you an enchanted prince? No, that kind of cheap trick is the responsibility of the frogs. I'm in the local intelligence agency. Really? Yeah, red, right? Hogwash. Hey, no need to get cheeky. And that's the important one. Then tell me a secret. Well, I'm still in training. I only know the trick with the sesame, and I'm not allowed to tell you about that. And I don't really know what that's supposed to tell you, but now, and only now, I can use this magic wand, and it's doing its magic, and now I can leave. So yeah, it's a bit obtuse as adventures go. So behind the witch's home is this graveyard with a chained down unicorn. Again, just stealing everything. There's a gold bag here. Of course, I'm taking that. There's a key. There's a testament. I'll take all of that. And with the key from earlier, we can free this unicorn. Holy moly, that was close. I already pictured myself in the witch's frying pan as a unicorn entrecote with morals. She caught me in the fairy woods as I was just courting this enchanting no-horn lady. Such bad luck. Here, have my horn as thanks. These things aren't in fashion anymore anyway. And again, we're getting a nice little animation. Whoop, just goes right off, no problem at all. Now I've got this unicorn horn as well. It's gonna be useful in a moment. First we're gonna have a look at this testament, which also gives us a hint. I'm not sure if reading this is actually necessary, but it's fun. I have failed. My end is nigh. If ever anyone should read this, then I've already left this world. So hear my warning. No mortal shall set foot in Istar's dark realm. Too powerful is her guardian Charon. In my youthful arrogance, I challenged this cruel being. And now behold of what came of it. Stay well away from his temple. Never again shall anyone set the broken cross onto his altar, or he will rise again into the pale light of the waning moon. And then may the gods grant mercy to your soul. Oh, we're not done. Pretty well you still can. So what that's telling us is just to combine two items, basically.
All that for just combine two items.
Yeah, it's flavor text. So here we're picking up these pieces of a cross and this ruby, and we're just sticking them together. And there we go, it's a full cross again. And that's the cross they were talking about. So here's this bat we can talk to. Just thinking if there's any items here, but I think I've got everything for now. So you work here? Sure, I'm a graveyard official for life. Pay grade F. Member of the Union of Cave and Grave Ghosts. With full pension insurance. Any questions? Are you also a ghost? No, originally I was a soup chicken. But then I had an unfortunate encounter with that dumb witch's curse. So now I'm a graveyard bat. And it's not so bad after all. Which way to the underworld? You'll have to ask Charon. Thanks for the nice chat. I don't really get to do that anymore ever since I left the chicken coop. We don't see a lot of mortals around these parts. And these dang zombies are always so stiff. Thankfully we haven't encountered any of those. So I'll give you a little hint. When you find Charon's cross, the doors of his demonic temple will open for you. But be careful, that guy lives in a pretty bad neighborhood of this city of the dead. Good luck. Alright, so I'm just gonna demonstrate one of the game overs here because it's got its own animation and it's fun to look at and really quick. So we're saving here. I've got the cross. I don't have another item that I need to go in here. So we're going into his temple, but it's pretty dark and these eyes appear. The jackals fall upon Knolly in the darkness. The end.
Jackals? No. Darn.
Yeah, there's a lot of these surprising deaths. Okay, so I think there's not really any hints without dying there what you're supposed to do. But I've got a bunch of items. So I've got this broken broom, and I've got this beeswax, and I've got a glintstone, and that makes it torch. Obviously,
Sure does.
That's how easy that is. If you ever need a torch, if you're ever in the darkness, you just need a broom and some beeswax and a way to light it. And now we're fine in here. now the jackals don't kill us. So here's Charon, the guardian of the underworld or something. And we could talk to him, but all the options end in a game over. So we don't want to do that. So I'm gonna get this ritual knife and this golden chalice. I'm just taking them right in front of his eyes. Maybe that's why he'd kill me when I talk to him. And yeah, we're walking back out here because there's also a golden chalice here. And we can take some holy water from it, which we're gonna need later. And also, I've got this knife now. I can carve the unicorn horn into a big kitchen spoon. Big wooden spoon. I don't know how the little horn makes such a big spoon, but I guess it's magic. Always a good explanation. And now we're fully equipped. Now we're a full-featured Knolly.
Wow. The power is limitless.
Pretty much, yeah. So the way to get past Charon here is we're taking this gold bag, which we stole from, I guess, his graveyard, or at least he could have taken it himself, I guess. And he says, that's very generous of you, little one. Did you break your piggy bank for a gift for good old Uncle Charon? Thank you. As a reward, I'll let you have a ride on the hell elevator. Right this way. How nice of him.
Missed opportunity to call a hell-elevator there, I think.
Alright, so here's Ishtar, the evil goddess that cursed our land. Rightful villain of this game. And we can't talk to her or anything. We're just gonna use our magic wand, and it does its magic again. And now she's a worm. And that's how you defeat a big evil god. We're gonna put the worm in our inventory, of course, and this godly crown. It's gonna be useful later. And then another fun bit for which I think there's not really any hints. I'm using this key on the left column here, and that gives me this code sheet. And with the code sheet, I can finally decipher the scroll that I started the game with. That was unreadable before, but now we can read that. O noble stranger, you shall now learn the answer to the riddle of Atlantis. Far away there is a realm of gods called Atlantis. There lives Godfather Creon, protector of our home country Mesopotamia. The evil goddess Ishtar has cursed Creon, destroyed his seat, and stolen the ruler's crown. Whoever can lift the curse of Creon will save our dear Mesopotamia. To lift the curse, you must give the following concoction to him. Into a golden chalice, put fairy tears, death mushroom, and life fruit. With a spoon carved from a unicorn's horn, add some sky herbs and boil the mixture. Spice it with 2 freshly caught fish. When Creon drinks this potion, all woe will vanish from our beloved home of Mesopotamia. Finally put the godly crown on the godfather's head, and fame and fortune will return to our country. So it's very convenient that we've got most of these items already.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, it's just lucky coincidence. So another little thing, I can use this key on the right pillar as well, and I'm getting a diamond, and I don't think it does anything. I haven't found any use for that. Anyway, we picked up, or didn't we pick up? Can I walk back? Let me check. We've got a save state up there. So apparently there's one item I forgot. I just kind of glossed over, but we can walk back. So there's one item in the witch's hut that I apparently missed. So yeah, that's the fun thing in this game. I only needed it much later, and then suddenly notice, oh, there's an item missing here. But I think we can walk back to the witch's hut. So the item we're missing is the wind bag, a magic bag full of wind, I guess. If I would have used that item any earlier, it's also game over. Oh, okay, we can walk back. Perfect.
All right.
So I think the wind bag is... No? Which one's the wind bag? Oh, that's basically invisible. It's here. That's the wind bag. Yeah.
There we are.
All right. So if you use this item any earlier, it's a game over. The wind comes out, a tornado comes out and carries you away, and you take a long time to make your way back. But after we defeat Ishtar, if we now use it, so that's interesting. That's another that's never happened before. So
yeah.
maybe I have to use it in the room below. But yeah, I've got the save state from earlier where I demonstrated the death. So we can go through this pretty quickly now, I think. Also, I've got the wind bag now. Is this a different? I'm confused. Did I have the? I've got the wind bag again. Is this a different save state? Well, I've got the wind bag, so let's carry on with that. So maybe it only works when I use it down in the underworld, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure I have used it in the temple here at least. All right, well, we can go through this pretty quickly now. Just need to grab some items. And now I'm missing the torch. Now I'm confused. So I had the wind bag when I showed this off. But then did I take the wrong saves? I'm confused here. But yeah, we can easily just get the torch again. Okay, yeah, this is a different save state. Must have used the wrong save state earlier, because this one doesn't have the bag. So we're going back, we're grabbing the bag. And then we're crafting the torch. That's an important part, of course. It's funny that the game just lets you continue without picking up these items, and also the items aren't really highlighted. There's no no highlighted cursor or anything when you hover your cursor over stuff. So you play it the first time, you basically have to pixel hunt and just click on everything.
Yeah, they really don't make it easy on you.
Yeah. Alright, let's also make the torch quickly. So the broom, the beeswax, and the flintstone makes a torch. So now we can go into the temple again. And then we're grabbing the chalice there, so we can get the holy water here. Technically, I don't have to carve the spoon now. I could do that right at the end. Although what's funny is when you use the wind bag, there's also an animation, and in that animation you have the spoon, regardless of whether you carved it or not. Alright, just grab the holy water quickly. Hand Charon his bag of money, so that he'll let us take a ride on the elevator. Here you go. Alright, here we are again. This time with the wind bag. So we're just quickly getting rid of the evil goddess. And cramming her and all of that other stuff into our inventory. And here's the code. I don't think I have to read it, but we'll see. I mean, I still have it, so I can always read it when I need it. I really don't need the diamond, so let's just leave that here. And now I can use the wind bag properly. So now it's
we are.
Yeah, it's lifting us away, which should have worked the other time. So it carried us to this city above the clouds, and he's already a person, and he's pretty surprised to see us. And we can talk to him. Hold on, I'm only a harmless kitchen boy. Oh, and I thought only the gods travel by airmail. Who are you? My name is Meteosod. I was a meteorologist, but my predictions were never correct. One day Creon got into a terrible rain shower because of me, so he banished me to this isolated place. Now I'm harvesting nectar and ambrosia for the gods here. I'm only allowed to return once my predictions have gotten better. Maybe you could help me. And suddenly it turns into a weather quiz here, so chat, I'll give you a few seconds to think about these answers. For example, what are cumuli? Fog banks, a type of cloud, or bad weather zones? And they're a type of cloud. And what is a monsoon? A swamp? Probably rain and drought seasons, or a low pressure system? And of course it's 2 again. What's the Mistral? A cold northern wind in South France, a tropical storm, or a Spanish word for drought? It's number 1 this time. And what are isobars? Lines that show zones of same air pressure, same temperature, or same height? That's the last question. And it's number 1.
No number 3 answers. Or number 3.
Many thanks. I'll go write down these answers before I forget them again. Please wait here. And he walks away. And he wouldn't come back if we don't do anything. We're just stuck here. We've got this item from the very start of the game. This barometer here. And this is where we have to use it. So if I use it, he comes back, he's curious about it. What is that? This is a barometer. It shows what the weather will be like. You can keep it if you give me some sky herbs in exchange. Here, take as much as you need. I can finally return to the surface. Thank you. So the sky herbs were in our list of ingredients for the magic potion we need to brew. But again, he gave us the herbs, but he walks away and we would be stuck again. So here comes another item into play that we picked up earlier, these bird berries. We use the bird berries, suddenly a bird appears. And we try to talk bird to it, I guess. Cheap? What's cheap supposed to mean? Are you out of your mind? Say what you mean. And yeah, we don't give up. Tweet. Can't you express yourself better? Peep. One last try. Peep? Do you think I'm stupid or something? Can't you speak normal Mesopotamian, the standard language around here, I guess? We've still got these bird berries. Alright, so we have to talk to it first. Can you ask, can you take me with you? No, sorry, I don't have space for hitchhikers. I'm trying to get to Creon. Sure, my name is Odysseus. I've seen that old trick before. Where can I take the bus to Atlantis? The next bus station is on Krakatoa, around 10,000 kilometers to the south. So, we're not very lucky with this bird, but we've got these bird berries and now we can give them to the bird. Well, that changes the situation. For generous people like you, I always have some spare space available. Alright, fasten your seatbelt. I'm taking you to Atlantis. So we're almost at the end here. So here's the island of Atlantis apparently. We're picking up some stuff. There's a conch shell there. There's a stick, very important adventure item. And on the other screen of the island, there's some firewood. And here above this dolphin text design, there's a vine hidden fairly well. And we can blow this conch and a dolphin appears. I mean, the sign says it's a dolphin. Can you take me to Creon? Sure, if you can hold your breath for long enough. The old geezer is sleeping pretty far below. Do you think I can make it? Honestly, no. And I can't help you with it either. The Dolphin Transport Association explicitly forbids rides with short-breathed, no-gill clients. So no luck there. But we've got all the... Yeah, well, he means business. It's his job. So we've got a bunch of items. We've got this vine. We can combine it with a stick that makes a fishing rod. And now I can take the formerly god that's now a worm and put it on my fishing rod. And it makes a fishing rod with bait. And if I use this, it gives me some fish. And now I've got everything from my recipe, except we need our big spoon back. Need a big spoon to properly stir your magic potion. And now we can start cooking. In the scroll we read earlier, there's a bunch of ingredients, a complicated series of steps. Thankfully we don't have to do any of that. We just have to combine the flintstone and the firewood. And that brews our potion. And with a secret recipe in hand, Connolly brews the potion that can save Creon and Mesopotamia. There he goes, brewing the potion. We're still kind of stuck here. So why not just take a little sip of the potion? Maybe it helps. I really like this animation. That's your sign to stay hydrated, chat.
I'm sipping.
Knolly recommended. Alright, so there's again not really any indication that this would be the case, but drinking the potion actually helps us proceed here. So we talk to the dolphin again. And again, we ask, do you think I can make it? Sure, with a magic potion, it should be no problem. Hop on. Apparently, it's a universal magic potion. It does everything.
No clarity needed. Got it.
So, yeah, we're in the last room here. That's Creon. He's petrified, but we're using the potion on him. And we're putting the crown on him. And he's back. I've got the worst hangover. I must have had too much nectar. And I'm seeing gnomes. O noble ruler of the heaven and the earth, the evil curse has been lifted, Istar is defeated, and you are the boss again. Fantastic, but boss of what? And who are you? My lord, I am Knorli, kitchen boy from Uruk, and you are Creon, highest of the gods. Ye gods, it's slowly coming back to me. That old witch Istar must have tricked me, and I just let myself be tricked like a complete amateur. What about Mesopotamia? What's going on up there? O great lord, hear my lament, death and despair are reigning over the plains of my home. Well, Istar doesn't really have a green thumb. But I promise you, my son, things will be looking up from here on. Let us depart immediately. Today, my return shall be heralded throughout the lands, and you shall accompany me. And that's it. That's time, basically. We're still getting a long epilogue and another nice smile of Knorli. I don't know if we still have time. I guess we could read this epilogue. Again, it's
sure.
Kind of slow. And so
you're
it came
10 minutes under. You got time.
All right. And so it came to pass. Creon returned to his godly throne, a humble but very comfortable 5-cloud mansion near the Morning Star. Good fortune returned to Mesopotamia. The realm of Baal returned to its former glory, and the people lived long and happy lives. This is going places. And Knorli, to thank him for his help, Creon granted him a wish, and Knorli asked for the Cloud City, which went along its lonely orbit ever since Meteosat had left it. There was a triumphant reception for Knorli at the king's court, and he was named the king's personal chef. Thanks to the special ingredients from the Cloud City, the nectar, the ambrosia, and the sky herbs, his culinary skills were soon known and sought after throughout the world. As his crowning achievement, he was the only chef in all of antiquity to receive 5 stars in Cleopatra's Little Tavern Guide. And finally, something incredible occurred. Because of the big sip Knorli took of the curse-breaking godly elixir before diving down to Creon's palace, he stopped aging. And not just that, he became immortal. As a world-famous chef, he kept serving many rulers after King Baal died. Princes and princesses, kings, popes, and maharajas enjoyed his culinary treats. After the French Revolution, he decided to also offer his services to the common people. And since then, Knorli is a welcome guest in many kitchens all over the world. So I think the way I interpret that is that this is the mythical creation of Knorr and their chicken bouillon and so on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
What
it's like
an
the
advertisement.
it's like the mythical ancestors of the big kings and rulers and so on. And then the game just closes.
Yep, another DOS thing that keeps happening,
Yeah.
I guess.
But yeah, that was Abenteuer Atlantis. I hope everyone enjoyed it. I hope Knorli isn't gonna visit you in your dreams. Yeah. Originally, this game's in German. As you saw, there's a fan translation for it now. It's not completely finished yet, but I hope I can finish it very soon. So maybe it'll be done this weekend. We'll see, but soon. So if you're interested, have a look at my Twitter co-host. It's just my name, just like here, just Moveware. And I'll post about that as soon as it's released. And then I hope more people can enjoy Knorli's adventures. Yeah, and that's it from me.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you, Muer, for running not one but two games, and also for getting this ready for us. That was quite the undertaking, and I'm gonna try to sleep tonight, but you've made it ever so slightly harder. And for everybody there, we still have a couple more DOS games left on the schedule. We're not quite done tonight, so feel free. We're going to have a nice little break here, so get up, stretch, have a snack, have a drink, check under your bed to make sure Knorli is not haunting you, and we'll be back here in just a few short moments. Along with the silly DOS games tonight, and we have another doozy coming up here for you. Just want to remind everyone, of course, Games Done Quick is returning to PAX East 2023, which is going to be between March 23rd and 26th. So if you happen to be attending PAX East in Boston, feel free to come on by. You'll see us there. Additionally, big news, SGDQ is coming up May 28th through June 4th. That is going to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Game and volunteer submissions are closing very soon. If I'm not mistaken, they both close tomorrow. So go on over to gamesdonequick.com for some more information and to make sure that tomorrow is right. And I'm not giving you false information, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Anyways, we have another DOS classic. And by the way, we're actually going to be doing two different speedruns of this next game because it is so short. And we'll get it a little bit as to why that is during the run. But this game is called ILLERSIA in Lustria, and it's going to be run by Tristan. Take it away.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I was noticing we've kind of got some global representation going on here. This time around, we had a game from Israel, a game from Germany. Now we're going to Korea. This is ILLERSIA and Lustria, which, as far as I know, means absolutely nothing. It's just a couple of words the developers picked out. I'm a bit of a historian and preservationist with retro games, and this is a little bit of DOS jank that got preserved somehow. It's a proof of concept / demo of a game put together by some Korean developers for a homebrew game dev contest put on by a Korean ISP. And
wow,
it's neat, but it's got some issues. As I go through the run, just to quickly preface, it's going to look extremely amateur hour. I'm going to be doing things pretty slow, pretty methodical. And the reason for that is the way the game responds to my inputs is effectively random. There is a walk and a run speed, which one I get when I press a direction on the D-pad is random. There's a short jump and a high jump, which one I get when I press the jump button is random. The size of my hitbox changes depending on my running animation, so things that would hit me won't hit me and vice versa, effectively at random. And everything is on global cycles. So the entire run looks extremely shoddy, but it's all reacting to the game being incredibly inconsistent in how it handles how you play it. So it's always a fun time. I never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we love the chaos.
But yeah, let me stop yakking and we'll get rolling here. Let me count you down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So first of all, this run speed, the developer says that's a bug. Your ability to run this game is a bug. However,
Nice.
because they couldn't figure out how to fix it, they couldn't figure out how to fix it, they just kind of left it in and redesigned the game to require running to get over certain jumps like this one. Like, if you couldn't run, you can't get over that jump, but, you know, whatever. The run ability is a bug. We'll trust them on that. To run, what you have to do is you have to kind of scam the screen scrolling. You have to move back a little bit to align the screen to not be pushed as far to the right as you can go. And then you double tap forward, and when the screen actually begins to scroll forward, you will move at double speed. Whoa. Everything here, when it hits you, pops you up into the air a little bit. You lose character control, but it's not too bad. This category I'm running is No Magic, which forbids the usage of the fairy summon, which I will show off in a little bit. But aside from the incredible jank, it's a pretty basic platformer. We're going to go down here because there's a million dragons up there. And you don't want to fight a million dragons, they will win. That was a moment of me starting to run when I wasn't expecting it, and I almost careened off into a cliff. I don't recommend that either. Damage, for the most part, is also random. It's based on how many frames your weapon is in the enemy's hitbox. But as far as I can tell, enemies will go flying backwards not necessarily immediately when you hit them. So they check for damage every like 5 frames or so, which means any attack can do 1 to 4 frames of damage. Anyway, we're at the boss already. This is Gomez Adams. And the idea is you have to climb up here, wait for whatever the heck this is to go by, start a run, get over here. We have to start a run again, otherwise you can't reach him. And you do that. Now, I'm actually trying to swing my sword at the very bottom of my range, because if I hit him almost too late to swing and actually hit him, I will do more frames of damage, I've found. If I just, like, swing as soon as I can... Whoop. Come on, run. If I swing as soon as I can, he will teleport almost immediately upon being hit, and I'll do a whole lot less damage. Anyway, because of the whole random damage thing, I can't tell you exactly when time is, but it's when the screen goes black. So be ready for that.
We'll figure it out, I guess.
We'll figure it out. It's a very short run. This is, like I said, a proof of concept put together by some homebrew devs. I actually think it's really charming and endearing, and it's a lot better than anything I ever put out. And I've tried to do game development. I'm not good at it. I'm a systems engineer. Time.
Surprise!
Surprise. So that's like 4 minutes.
Yep.
And then we get our lovely in-game plot. The story is that you are some kind of baker, and all of the baked goods have rebelled against you, and you have to defeat them with a sword, I guess, and they're led by Gomez Adams. I don't know.
All makes sense.
That's an incredibly short run, right? You just kind of go to the right as long as you're able to control running properly. Something I want to point out, this was submitted to the Cusa Grande Bad Video Game Tournament. It's where I discovered it by someone who found another preservationist and researcher, historian by the name of Jeff XVX, who finds the weirdest stuff, no doubt. 4 people played this for an hour, and I don't think any of them beat it.
Wow. And you did it in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. That's impressive.
I did it in 3 minutes and 18 seconds while wearing weighted training clothes. I forbade myself from using magic. Do you want to see what the magic actually does, why I would forbid myself from using it?
Oh, absolutely. We have to. We have to see what magic does. Come on.
All right. Yeah, we can get the title flipped over and the clock reset, and I can show you that. It is
Beautiful.
Very hard to properly explain how difficult it is to actually control the run speed of the character. You have to do a stutter step backwards, let the screen not be pushed all the way to the right, or you all the way to the right on the screen, and then you double tap forward. And if you've done it right at some random point in there, you will start running. And I think it's a screen scrolling glitch, like not an intentional mechanic. But anyway, let's do the any percent. We'll do it in 3, 2, 1, go. We'll get the run going. And we're going to activate magic and, yeah. You're just kind of invincible and you damage everything you hit. Oh, I guess we're taking the scenic route. Another thing, the game can sometimes just drop your jump inputs.
Game over.
That's how easy it is for it to go wrong. Since I did that in like 20 seconds, I presume I got time to try again.
Oh, yes. You also finished the other one like 4 minutes under, so you got time. Go for it.
Here's your plot, by the way. I don't read Korean. It is the tech's choice if we reset the clock or not. I'm going to give another countdown anyway.
Looks like we're resetting it, so go for it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. I apologize for that.
It's an unforgiving game.
It is. This is what it's supposed to look like. And this is how quickly it can go off the rails if it goes wrong. Like that. That's alright though. If I can get the run to cooperate, we can recover from this. Nope. It's the easy category that's giving me so much drama now. Alright.
It's like it knows. It's like it's sentient. It knows that it's giving you all the problems.
It was the no magic that gave me so much worry because you can just so easily run out of health. You have your bouncing HUD in the corner. And, you know, the health is up there. I came pretty close just messing around. All right. We'll give it one more shot.
Let's do it.
I'm going to take a safer route. 3, 2, 1, go. And now I'm not going to run. I'm actually kind of glad this is going bad so that we can showcase just how not easy this actually is. So I'm just going to take the the no magic route, but I'm going to run the magic, which will be faster anyway. And you just kind of plow through everything. You have enough magic to go all the way through here, completely invincible. You didn't get to see it, but there's one of those slug enemies on the left right up against the wall. And if you get hit by that, you get juggled into the wall infinitely, and you die from full health, full 0 death combo. Don't stub your toe on the weird grub enemies. I don't recommend it. Alright, so the boss fight, unfortunately, is largely the same. Whoop.
Well.
So that's another thing. If you attack, your upward jump momentum just kind of disappears. Also, I seem to have despawned a platform. I don't know how I did that. That's literally never happened before.
We've had a lot of those tonight. Saying the catchphrase.
Yeah. There's supposed to be another platform to my right. I like the music here, though. It's the music's pretty cool in this game. There was a showcase of my run speed taking a while to kick in. I haven't completely figured it out yet. Like I said before, I think it has something to do with screen scrolling. That you're moving at a certain speed, the game thinks you're scrolling the screen, but you're not. And then when you start scrolling the screen, you start moving twice as fast. That's the theory I have. Unfortunately, my assembly is not that good, and I can't tear the game apart and figure it out.
Yeah.
Something I forgot to call out, there's a third meter on the HUD. There's the HP, the MP, there's a gold gauge. What you're supposed to do is get enough gold to fill it up, and if you don't, you're supposed to get a bad ending. It doesn't work. Instead, the endings are decided by which of the two, run speed, which of the two exits you take out of the level. If you take the upper exit, you get the boss fight no matter how much gold you have, as you can see, since I have 0. If you take the lower exit, you get the bad end regardless of how much gold you have. But the bad end, based on my amazing capability of taking a photo of something and feeding it into Google Translate, says you don't have enough gold. I feel like this was an extremely early test proof of concept thing. Also, this boss is refusing to die. I killed it last run in 2 or 3 cycles. It's taking 4 or 5 this time.
Yeah, it's not cooperating. Jeez.
Random boss damage. I'm out of MP, so I can't just invulnerable through the fireballs. There we go, time.
That didn't even look like it hit him yet.
It hadn't effectively. I'm kind of glad that went a little bad, just to show how easily that game can go sideways. But that's all there is. Like I said, this is a demo or a proof of concept or something. And as far as I know, no one has ever found a full game of this. There may not be one at all. But I find it incredibly cute that we could give this to 4 people and have them play it for an hour and them not be able to beat it. And then once you figure out just how incredibly jank the movement physics are and you kind of figure out how to tame them, but not really, you can finish the game in 3 minutes. It's really cute.
Yes.
I'm definitely of the opinion that we need more crappy games from independent developers, and I'm not kidding about that.
Yes, send us the shovelware, send us the proof of concepts, give it to us.
I love the stuff that's done by a couple of teenagers in a basement or a garage or something. I found another game by the name of Lost in Atlantis. I discovered this a couple of years ago. And I was showcasing this in a couple of marathons and stuff, and I'm just like, wow, this game is so jank, it's amazing. And then the developer showed up and was like, hey, by the way, I wrote that when I was 13, dude.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah. He
That's
actually
awesome.
fixed a bug in that game in 2019. It's 25 years old.
Wow, that is great. Well, Kristen, you were on last week with commentary for the Bouncer, and you were on this week, so thank you for the double duty of Awfully Silly. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I like being here. I like showcasing really weird stuff and just trying to showcase, hey, this may be in the eyes of the general public and the general opinion bad, but there's still fun to be out of it. This is an amazing speed game if you can tame the whole movement mechanic stuff. You can finish it in 3 minutes and it's just funny.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. I also did want to bring up the funny notion that your any percent run was slightly slower than your no magic run.
The boss refused to go down.
It just would not go down. It just would not cooperate, which is really funny to me.
Yeah,
But thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, folks, we have actually technically 2 more runs, but 1 more game left for the Awfully Silly DOS games today. So we're going to take 1 final break. Feel free to stretch. Make sure that you can take your super speed by scrolling your screen at home. I don't know. And we'll see you here in a few moments. All right, welcome back to Awfully Silly. We are gearing up for the finale of the Silly DOS Games episode. We have just had a blast. We've been full of that's never happened before moments. A couple good, but mostly, janky. Just like this show lends itself to. Before we get started with the final runs and the final game of tonight, just want to remind everyone that if you happen to be watching on YouTube sometime in the future, be sure to press the like button and give us a subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it. And if you're interested, feel free to come on over to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick. If you're interested in looking at our live content, that's going to start most weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and most weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. But without further ado, I think it is time we jump in to the Battle of the Eras. We actually have 2 runs of this. We have all fights and an any percent run right after, very similarly to what we just did with ILLERSIA, and it's going to be done by Corn Dan. So Corn Dan, I guess Well, just do your best, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll do fine, right? Fortunately, this game is like 8 minutes and like 40 button presses. That's why I like it. So
Yes, beautiful.
I'm here also with our great commentary for Railcoon, who's also been our great producer for the evening. But you guys, you know how occasionally in GDQ you get the comments on videos and stuff that things are just, Ray, if you're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I was doing the transition and I didn't have Discord sold yet, so I didn't hear you introduce me. Hi, I'm Relku. I'm in the studio, obviously, by that explanation.
Our incredible and intrepid producer, everybody.
Who
I've
worked
been conned
miracles
into
to be-
being here because I've only seen part of this run.
It's not conning, right? But I want to start with this. See, look, we already got it to crash, and I'd say this note's never happened before, but it absolutely happens all the time. If you let it sit too long,
it's set up.
Yeah, if you let it sit too long, it crashes. It runs out of memory.
It actually finished the story that time during in the green room. It didn't even get all the way through the story and crashed.
I know. The game tries. So you know when you see those comments on speedrunning videos that these games obviously need to have been programmed by 14-year-olds, because it's so buggy or whatever. Well, this game was actually programmed by 3 14-year-olds in Canada in 1995. By three 14-year-olds who said they wanted to be, like Mortal Kombat, except Mortal Kombat at home. And I mean that literally. They filmed everything at home. Right. And I'm not trying to bash them. I think this game is wonderful. So we're going to do this fighting game, and we'll talk about it as we go, right? And I'm going to play Shadow Snake. Shadow Snake's the most broken character because Shadow Snake is the little brother of XLX 2250, like in real life, and they were babysitting him one day, so they didn't get to do a lot of work with him. And so to do that means some of his animations are real short and all of that, and we're going to abuse that. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here in 3, 2, 1, go.
Shadow Snake?
Yeah, Shadow Snake's the best.
Snake's rule.
We're actually going to attempt real speed tech 2 here. So someone in the Kusa Grande community Sentinel found out that when they're telling you it's round whatever, if you hit escape, sometimes it skips that. It only it saves a couple seconds. So our first fight here is against the Minotaur. Notice, we're like 40 seconds, I think it's like 30 seconds before we actually get to the first fight. So we're against the Minotaur, who was originally going to be this cool claymation, and they couldn't make it work, so he's a worm. So you can see here, I skipped that. It actually saves more time on that first fight, because you got to take the Minotaur, and then he becomes the worm. And so the strategy for this game is to just kick them in the crotch until they decide they're done. For the whole game. There are special moves. They're hard to pull off. I don't know how to do them. We can kick them in the crotch.
That sure is a 2-frame animation.
It is. So the crotch kick is a 2-frame animation that goes off every single frame. So it doesn't even matter if it's like the weakest attack, and it's not. And it preempts every other attack going off. So not only is it like the fastest way to do things, it's also the safest.
What is that, like in fighting game terminology, like plus infinity on block?
Oh yeah.
Round 1, fight.
So now we're fighting Shojin, who's probably the most complete character, but as you can see, we kicked him like 4 times and he's done.
I do enjoy that the Shadow Snake hasn't been scaled height-wise, so you can tell that this is the little brother just by height.
So to their credit, right, these 3 guys did everything. They wrote like their own extended memory extensions to run all of this. They did all of their own sound stuff, all their own graphics, right? Like and rewrote the libraries to make that work for them, right? Like legitimately. What they did in 1995 was impressive. I made a game when I was in high school, and it had a massive memory leak and crash. These guys did a lot better than I did.
Yeah, in high school we were tasked with making a game Nobody made a game. Most of us just made an animation instead. And, you know, most of them wound up being just like stick figures doing a thing for like 30 seconds. This is
so of course we
impressive.
have the mirror match. Yeah. Why the mirror match is in the night, I don't know. So you notice I haven't talked about the plot at all. And that's because nobody really knows what it is. But I will do my I'll do my best here to come on Shadow Sync. I'll do my best to talk about it. So the Sky Temporis lives in like 100,000 AD. And humanity is de-evolving and they don't know what that is and we don't either. And so Temporis figured out a way to go back into time, but only from the years like, you know, before, you know, BC up to about 3000 AD. I don't know why, whatever. And so he's bringing them back into the era, you know, to save humanity. And what's the best way to do that is to make them fight each other.
You say that we don't know what the story is. So what I immediately think is that means we can make up our own. And nobody can disprove it.
It would be just so. You can see sometimes here. This is actually, I would say this has never happened before, but this has absolutely happened before. The best way to do everything on this is to charge. Some of these guys get knocked back on charge, so you got to charge farther than you want.
I do like the mix-up of the booty kick instead of the crotch kick this time.
But you can see how much faster the crotch kick is.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, right, you can kick me in the booty and that would kind of hurt. You kick me in the crotch and I'm probably down for the count. So I totally get it.
Yep, it's definitely a critical hit area for sure.
All right, so now we're on to... if somebody can take the sound from this and figure out what this guy is saying, we'll figure it out. He's like medieval
Gatekeeper.
England. So one thing I thought is really cool on this is that
Round one.
like the death animations between like rounds 1 and 2 are very different. So like round 1, you know, he just tosses it. He's just upset that you just kicked him in the crotch for a while.
Round two. Fight.
So I keep trying to do the speed tech here of hitting escape. If you hit it too early or too very late, it actually kicks you out of the game. There's a period in there, if you hit it just right, it pauses the game.
Incredible.
And you're just like, why didn't this work?
There's a thin gray area in between all of that, and that's where you operate.
Right. And you can save like 2 seconds a fight for like 12 rounds. All right, I want you guys to pay attention to XLX 2250 because you're only going to see it for a couple seconds. So part of this, for their weapons, they you know, had what they had, right? Now remember, this is 1995. XLX has a particle rifle. What do you think it actually is?
Nerf gun.
You're close.
Squirt gun.
It is in fact a Super Soaker 50.
Oh, 50.
Like that original Super Soaker. Now he has jetpack.
Not even the 100.
Right? Not even 100. He has a jetpack, right? It's pipe insulation, and he has a melee. He has a melee attack? I don't know. There's an axe there for no good reason. But so I really applaud their ingenuity. Like, okay, I'm gonna make this guy from the future, and I don't, you know, what would he have? Well, clearly he would have like jet thrusters.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Temporis. We're gonna skip most of his conversation because it doesn't really matter.
Red Letter Media made a video about a future time cop, and a lot of their props were literally just cardboard. So
yeah,
use what you got to use.
I am, as I said, I am here not to make fun of it, not to whatever. I am actually like, okay, you know what? That right for what you're trying to do. That's kind of clever.
Yeah.
So this is Temporis. I really don't know what Temporis is. Right? When you look at that, like, does that look like I'm crouch kicking him? My score is going up, so it's telling me yes.
You also mentioned that you have 14 million points.
Yeah, and you get like you know, a bunch of points every time you kick him. So here's the cool thing about the game, right? Now you think this would be a button mashing nightmare, right? The game just pulls what buttons are pressed. So I have literally hit 3 buttons for this match. I hit the 1 to charge and then down and kick. And you just hold them down and that's it.
Wow, that sounds like it's very very friendly to people who need like turbo controllers or things like that. Can't input that well.
It is like super turbo friendly. The game is a blast. On the speedrun.com page, we have a download. The dev releases for free. So we actually have a DOS box configured and everything that's already set up for this. Just look up Battle of the Eras on speedrun.com. It's in one of the guys that has everything.
I do enjoy that this final boss has the health. There's no health meter that tells you this anywhere, but it just takes a while.
So the health meter actually works, and that's time. So we won, right? We're done. And we did it, guys, right? We beat Temporis and saved the day. Except Shadow Snake can't cope with that and goes back 4 billion years into the past and sucks extremely large amounts of ultra hot hydrogen into the dome. It explodes, everybody dies. And oh, by the way, all of that hydrogen was there to help the sun start up. So now we just obliterated humanity because the sun never starts nuclear fusion. We did it, guys.
What the heck?
Wow. Nothing like winning so hard you lose humanity.
Yeah, we won so hard we killed everybody. And not just like everybody on Earth now, we killed everybody that has ever existed.
That was like destroying the entirety of human civilization, like human history, you know?
Yes.
Across time.
We killed all the dinosaurs, we killed all the humans. Here's the thing, right? Just like Tristan, what if we did it faster? Right?
All right.
You want to see it go faster?
I've
would
heard
love to
about
see it go
this
as
skip.
fast as
I'm
game.
very, very curious because Corndad hasn't told me anything about how this works.
So this is the first time it's been on like a stream, like a big stream. We didn't do it for GDQ. We didn't do it for BBG. Right? We haven't done it for any of this. So this is the first time this has been on. It's been on smaller streams, so it hasn't been on a big stream, right? So you guys ready?
I've never been more ready.
As ready as I can ever be.
All right, let's start this off with 3, 2, 1, go. So now I'm just going to hit space. It seems his experiments have greater consequences than he thought. The dimensions are merging. Look away if you're like bright colors. Like there's no flashing. It's just super bright colors. And so we're going to fight Proto. Who's this guy? I've seen dogs who draw better. What's he doing in the game? I don't know. We're in an unknown place at an unknown time. And if you can read that, you're probably not colorblind.
I'm not colorblind, and that was still difficult to read.
Yes. Okay, so we're fighting Proto.
Oh, this music.
Don't you love the music in the background and everything?
This music is great. So you did this just by pressing spacebar?
Yep. So once you select your character, when it's in that forming the Earth thing, you have to hit spacebar before you fight your first character.
And this took you all how long to discover?
I was reading stuff about it, and the dev mentioned it. Okay, so Temporis, hey, you came back. I'm surprised you survived. Right, where's the next thing that we get to? Come on. Come on, Temporis.
Did the game?
There we go.
Okay, there we go. I was like, did it freeze?
I was trying to figure that out. That would have actually never happened before.
To be fair, that would have been like the perfect ending.
What is? Come on. So now, does this seem familiar?
Vaguely familiar.
Getting some deja vu. I can't quite place why.
So this saves so much time, not because the fights are fast. I mean, the fights go in like 10 seconds, right? But it takes 40 seconds to load every single new level that this just saves so much time because we skip every other fighter.
Does this level lag? It does seem like it's running a little bit slower.
100%. Right, so if you were to run this on a faster, like we've got it kind of set to something around like a 46, 66-ish sort of thing, and it lags hard. So there are things that you could do that we're not doing, like, you know, if you want like a time, like I can get rid of the equalizer on top, I can get rid of some other stuff, I can speed the game up and like it actually goes faster anyway. But, you know, it's important to have everyone have the full experience. And now we're done. It's time.
Wow. The world premiere of Proto and the any percent run.
Yeah, it should have been
on
right
a bigger
around
stage.
2.5 to 3 minutes, something like that.
I think we got a 3:10 on our clock.
Yeah, it sounds about right. You know, that time with Temporis just sitting there. Look at that. We blew up the world again. So I do want to say one of the characters actually has a good ending. Right? Basically every ending is pretty depressing. Right? Shadow Snake blows up the world. Shojin goes back and basically spends his whole life being the old man who yells at clouds about all the danger that's coming. Gatekeeper goes back and warns himself, right? You know, just don't be around here. So Gatekeeper basically like disappears. And then the best ending is XLX 2250, who takes all his knowledge to go around helping the universe, right? The funny thing is you can't actually see it because anytime you try to play XLX 2250, the game errors out because it doesn't have enough memory. And it doesn't matter how much memory you give it. So we are actually, like, if you play through the game now, you can watch that through various ways of you know, tricking the game into putting you there. But if you're trying to play the game, you can never get the good ending.
Fantastic.
What a game. What a presentation.
Right, as a game, it's terrible. As a shared, like, experience, it's wonderful.
I like that Gatekeeper just creates a time paradox for the ending.
Yeah, I mean, what else would you do? Oh, and Farrakhan he gets his powers back and then uses that to enslave people. So there really is only one good ending, and you can't see it.
Amazing.
Ugh, ain't that just the way? Well, Corndan, you put on this incredible showcase for us of a couple categories of Battle of the Eras. Would you like to shout anything out or have any plugs before we wrap up for the night? I
mean, I don't have a whole lot. I'd like to say, oh, yeah, check me out and I'm streaming. But the answer is I'm really not as much anymore. But you know what? Hey, I help Brosensha do Kuso Grande. So go check that out at twitch.tv/Brosensha.
You know what Corndan also does, and he's being too shy to plug? A show called Don't Make Us Bored with Brosensha. Yeah.
Also with Brosensha on Tuesday nights, but we're not doing it tomorrow because I have a robot that has to get built by next Saturday.
Corndan also has pictures of birds. They're really cute.
I actually just didn't get enough time to put up bird cam for today.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Right, I have so many Blue Jays I could have shared.
Well, regardless of if you stream or not, thank you so much for letting us experience this and showcasing that any percent run. We were all here for the moment, so thank you for allowing us to be here. For everyone at home, I hope you enjoyed the DOS episode of Awfully Silly. I had a blast. I hope you did too. We will be back here in 2 weeks, same bat time, same bat channel, and we'll be showcasing some more very fun and very silly games for you here on the GDQ channel. Please don't go anywhere. Out of Bounds is coming up right after this, and we're going to be showcasing glitches, tricks, skips, and everything in between for the game Stray. An incredible game, and you're not going to want to miss it. Please stick around, but for now, thank you so much, and good night. We'll see you in a couple weeks.